Here we go. Recording in 3, 2, and 1.
What kind of a bovine nincompoop puts a list together like this? Not only is this moron not know what the worst songs of the 80s are, he put some of the best songs of the 80s in this fucking list.
Welcome to episode 162 of Nerdery Murdery.
Big 162. I'm Zig with your nerdery.
And I'm Jeffrey with your Murdery. Welcome to another week of the highs and lows, the ups and downs, the good and the bad, and the nerd and the murd. We have guests in the house, guestery in the house again from Two Geeks and a Microphone. Great show. If you haven't listened to it, please go out and listen to him. But we have Michael Shanks and his wife Brenda. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
So from the last episode y'all were on that was hairbands, it's interesting. As I was reading Facebook this morning, I came across this. The 3-part docuseries Nothing But a Good Time, the uncensored story of 80s hair metal, will debut on the Paramount Plus streaming service later this year.
Oh, cool.
That's
I'm gonna
awesome.
check that out. Yeah.
That is awesome. It's
I
based
will
on
definitely check that out.
it's based on a book of the same name. I'm going to definitely check that out. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see that. I can't believe that that's funny. That just came up today on my on my feed, and I saved it for the show. Mike was asking how the weather was down here before we started. We've gone through a tropical depression down here, and it has just rained and rained and rained and rained and rained. Finally let up a little bit this morning. We were able to get out. It actually let up some yesterday, and we went out on the golf course, and we are infested with gnats.
Ugh.
I mean, they're everywhere. You walk through these clouds of them. Those things dive bomb you. I had one hit my ear yesterday. Felt like a piece of glass hitting my ear. But they are everywhere. They get up your nose. They get in your ears. They get in your mouth. It's it's terrible down here.
South Texas is rough. Dude, they got
Yes.
mosquitoes the size of birds down there, too.
We have mosquitoes everywhere too. We've got mosquitoes in the house. We see them all the time.
I think we got
Oh.
mosquitoes everywhere. So, I mean, they're all over here too. So,
Well, I'm glad the tropical depression didn't come to fruition or anything else, because my sister works in marine insurance, and she said that they are predicting a very, very bad hurricane season, and we do get hurricanes down here.
right.
So we'll see. I've never experienced a hurricane, so we'll see how that happens this summer. But anyway, it's been, other than that, it's been hot, unbelievably hot. On Memorial Day, when we went out with some friends to the golf course, the heat index was 118.
Well, we finally got through our rain season here in the Midwest. And I mean, I think it rained all of April. And I think it rained almost all of May. If I heard the report right, I think we might have had 6 days of May that didn't rain.
Wow.
That sounds like it sucks. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
it did.
man.
It did suck. It's horrible. In our backyard, half of it floods half the time when it rains, so it's taken forever for my backyard to dry out. And yeah, so it's been terrible. Now it's just plain hot here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's going to be here as soon as this tropical depression leaves. It's going to be nothing but hot. We're gonna have a beating of a summer down here. Oh man. If any of our listeners has not listened to episode 26 of ours, go back and listen, because I just have to bring this up. Uh, um, I'm rewatching and falling in love with Battlestar Galactica again. Just pulled it out of the blue, and I'm like, you know what? I really want to watch that again. And I didn't forget that it's a good show, but I just forgot how good of a show it is. This is the 04 version.
So do you have it on Blu-ray, or
it's on Amazon Prime?
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I might
It
have
has
to start
it has the
rewatching.
mini series, and then it kicks off into the season.
Nice.
Into the seasons. Yep. I love it,
Nice.
but just so enjoying it all over again. So go back and listen to episode 26 and then watch Battlestar Galactica. It's awesome. Another thing I just that I just thought of, which I think is really cool, just a side note, with our cameras. So we are demoing Microsoft Hello at work. That's really cool. You have to have a 4K camera, and all I do is hit Control Alt Delete on my keyboard and look at the camera, and it logs me in.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and it's really good. I mean, I can be at different angles, and it logs me in. I don't have to put in a password, a key, or anything like that. It just automatically logs me in.
Cool.
I think that's really cool. Microsoft Hello has been pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right. Well, with that, Zig, I'll let you take over on the nerdery side of the house.
Thank you very much, sir. Today we're going to talk about Rolling Stone's worst of the 1980s. The first song
From Rolling Stone magazine. This was
Yes.
a couple of lists that were put out that we had talked about, and we're talking with Mike and Brenda on Facebook Messenger about this, and just the controversy that surrounds these lists, and we had to do a show on it, and they were like, we want to join.
Yes. I have words.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna do the top 10 worst ones first. The first one being Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. He's an English singer. He gained fame through his association with production trio Stock, Atkin, and Waterman, released in 1987. His album Whenever You Need Somebody, which sold 15 million copies worldwide. His debut single, Never Gonna Give You Up, was a #1 hit in 25 countries, winning the 1988 Brit Awards for Best British Single. His 1988 single, Together Forever, became his second song to top the U.S. Billboard Hot 100s, and was one of his 8 songs to reach the top 10 on the UK single charts. The title track, Whenever You Need Somebody, was also a #1 hit.
Here's my problem with this list, and I'm going to go ahead and kick this off here. How do we have a #1 song hit the worst top 10 list?
I think I can explain that.
I
can explain that.
Disagree with this song as being one of the 10 worst. Completely disagree.
I agree as well. I do not like this song. I think this song is trash. I always thought this song was trash.
I don't think the song is trash.
Oh no, this song is trash. But
I can easily think of 10 worse songs than this. Easily.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
I think the reason this song is in the list is because it was overplayed. I think of these 10 songs, 8 of them are listed because they're overplayed.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Okay, but you're now talking about the problem with top 10 radio.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Agreed.
When you had, and it was way prevalent in the 80s, and I don't listen to top 10 radio anymore, but I'm sure it's still the same. When you had songs that were in the top 10 of Billboard and Rolling Stone and the top 40 lists and all that, Casey Kasem's list and all that kind of stuff, they played those songs over and over and over and over again, which is why it was easy in the 80s to make mixtapes of your favorite songs, because you just had to wait for an hour and you're going to hear it again.
Not even an hour sometimes.
Sometimes.
What's weird is if you actually look at the first part of the 80s, I would say 1980 to 1985, you had more songs in those top 10 list or top 40 radio. They would be in the top 40 for about a month, and then you'd get a new set. Now, of course, some of them would last a couple of years, but you had so much more. About 1986, 1987, when this song took off, that stopped happening. You'd have something in the top 40 for 6 months to a year, and it wasn't just that one song. It was like 20 songs, and that's all you heard for a year. I think that's why people don't like it. Another interesting thing about this song in particular, Stock, Aitken, and Waterman was actually the record company. This was the #1 indie song of all time until the indie stuff started really breaking in the early 90s.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
there are a lot of indie people who are real pissed off about
like
that.
I said, I just don't agree with this one being in the top 10 worst.
No.
There are so
am
many
with you.
worse songs. He's got a great voice. He really does. And this has catchy music to it.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's been overused as a prank on the internet, to
Yes,
it has.
rickrolling somebody.
Right.
But this just doesn't belong in the top 10 worst.
No.
So,
Dude, I can think of one song off the top of my head, right off the bat. Make Me Lose Control by Eric Carmen is way worse than this. That song is
from Dirty Dancing.
Garbage.
It's from Dirty Dancing.
Oh, okay. I hate Dirty Dancing.
Oh my God.
And Brenda's
Garbage.
thinking about it because she loves that movie. I hate
Okay,
it.
what was the song?
Make Me Lose Control by Eric Carmen.
It is awful. Did they use that in Dirty Dancing? I know another one of his songs got used in Dirty Dancing.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different one from Dirty Dancing.
I have a better title for this list.
What's that?
It should be top most cliche songs.
That's a better name for this list. That's a much better name for this.
Exactly. Yes. If they would have named this the top 10 cliche songs, I probably would have agreed with it a lot more.
Yeah.
But to say that these are the top 10 worst songs of the 80s, I totally disagree with
I'm going to tell you right now, the next song in the list, Putting on the Ritz by Taco, is not a bad song at all.
I agree. I love that.
It's a great song.
I don't think Jeff agrees.
It's in one of Michael's favorite movies.
Yeah,
Young Frank.
It's hard to listen to this and not go, Putting on the Ritz.
Yes.
Super Cooper.
I wouldn't use the term great for this song. It's catchy. But this song belongs in this list to me. This one does.
Putting on the Ritz by Taco?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. When you hear this song, do you either bob your head or tap your foot?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Not on this one.
It's a re-recording of an old standard.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
And I didn't particularly like this one.
I've always liked this song.
Yeah.
Great to me doesn't fit this one.
Of course,
this one would go in my list.
I am partial because of Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
I mean,
that's the biggest reason I like this song.
Yeah. But I like his rendition. I think it's a good rendition. And this is not my style of music at all.
This is a song by a Broadway person. That's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
It's someone. He's from Jakarta, but he's a Dutch speaker. And in the Netherlands, and it's him basically just doing top 40 standards.
Dude, is that a Boba Fett? Is that a Boba Fett bottle you're drinking out of?
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
Oh, very nice.
Here's the cap.
Oh, awesome.
Steven bought this for me. It's a corksicle.
That's cool.
Yeah. It keeps it cold too.
Nice. It's a
do what?
Which is needed right now.
Yeah, it's hot. So Taco put this out in 1981. It's off an album that he released back then. It was on the Hot 100 and number 1 on Cashbox. It was pretty high. Well, it was number 1 all over Europe. It got to number 23 in the US and number 59 in Germany. And he sold quite a few copies of it. Again, I don't think this is a bad song at all.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the minority on this one.
Yeah, it's not, is it something I would put on all the time? No, but I wouldn't turn it off if it was on.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not going to go out of my way to, to play this song. But if I come across it, I'm going to listen to it. I enjoy this song.
Yeah. Was it overplayed? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, it was overplayed. Just like the next one, Mickey, by Tony Basil. That song was overplayed.
This song 100% goes in this list. 100%.
Oh, the song's not that bad.
It's too low in the list.
Brenda already knows why I like this song so much.
The song's great.
I can't stand this song. This song makes me want to poke my eyes out with sharp sticks. I
love it when
I
he
hate the
says things like
video.
that.
I hate everything about this song. I hate
Why?
everything about this song. It's annoying. Tony Basil is annoying. This this to me goes to number one.
Again, I don't think it's. I don't even think it's that bad.
Oh, this one just
it
makes
is
me seethe
overplayed.
with.
I will.
This
agree.
one just makes me seethe with anger.
So Brenda, why do I like this song?
I don't know.
Come on. Here, I'll sing a bit for you. Oh, Ricky, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Ricky. Oh, Lucy, you're so fine, you blow my mind.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, the parody song.
Weird Al did this song, and let's face it, Weird Al only did the biggest hits.
That's true.
In fact, many artists said they knew that they made it big time when Weird Al redid their song.
Yeah.
So this is one of the biggest hits out there, or at least back then.
Back then, yeah, it was pretty big. I mean, it played all the time.
It did.
The song is actually a cover of Kitty, a 1979 release by the UK band Racy, and written and produced by Nicky Chin and Mike Chapman. The original song did not include the "Oh Mickey, you're so fine" chant, which Tony Basil added. Her name is actually Antonia Christina Basilota, but Tony Basil is a shortening of that.
I think her name should be "I Suck."
This song was actually big before the inception of MTV in July of 1981, but because it was around and they didn't have a whole lot of videos to play, this got into heavy rotation on MTV.
Yeah.
This
was immediate turn the channel for me.
Like
immediate.
I like this one. Makes me want to clap.
No.
But again, it's not something I would necessarily seek out.
This is funny because I think normally Jeff and I are on the same wavelength when it comes to music because we're both, 80s hairband, but wow, I think we're going to clash a lot on these lists.
Yep.
See, these were kind of guilty pleasures for me.
Yes.
And I was all about the pop scene in the 80s and the hair metal scene in the 80s. I mean, I went through all of that stuff. And I listened to Top 40 more than I listened to anything else, even though we had some heavier rock stations in town. I was really into pop, and this song never.
Well, I sent you a link to one of our former radio stations in St. Louis.
Casey.
Well, Casey's still around. Casey's actually the oldest rock and roll radio station in America.
Right.
Actually.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. But KHTR, see, it was kind of like this whole graduation system when I was growing up, when both of us were growing up. You started off listening to KHTR, which was, your pop, your top 40 pop, with some hair bands in there and, a mix of 80s stuff. And then as you got older, you got like into junior high, then you graduated KWK, which was more your rock station. And then once you got to high school, then it was all Casey at that point,
Yeah. The same thing happened here. You would start with 106.1 KISS FM.
Okay.
Yeah, Kid Craddock. And then you would graduate.
Oh, no. Go back. Kid Craddock.
You would graduate to Eagle 97.
Kid Craddock started on Eagle, not on KISS. He went to KISS later.
Okay,
when it became adult contemporary and whatnot.
But you started out on KISS 106.1 FM, and then you went to Eagle 97, and then after that you either went to stay with Eagle 97 or went to Z-Rock for a while or The Edge.
Rock, I know that name. That name is familiar.
Oh yeah, we had a heavy metal station in DFW for a while.
Well, and actually, you're forgetting they either went to the Zoo, they went to
Y95,
Q102.
Q102, yeah, you got Q102 in the Zoo.
Yep.
What was great about those two stations is they played everything.
Yeah.
Now the Zoo, is that a radio station or is that just like?
No, it was a radio station.
See, Casey back in the day, they started broadcasting the morning zoo, and it was like a simulcast. And then eventually the morning zoo went away, and then we got Bob and
Stevens and Pruitt,
or-
Bella and Rhodey, those guys.
no, not that, as Bob and
Oh,
Bob and
Tom.
Tom, the Bob and
yeah,
Tom.
Bob and
show.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Bob
They
and Tom
were they were
show.
national.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Then the Bob and Tom show went away, and it just went back to Casey's normal
With
DJs. With who?
I can't think of his name. It was oh my gosh.
For St. Louis?
Mm-hmm.
U-Man?
Yeah.
U-Man and
oh
oh goodness.
yeah. Gosh.
Corcoran. JC Corcoran.
No, I was thinking the other guy.
Well, JC was the original morning guy. U-Man Smash.
Yes, that's
Smash.
That's
Oh, I love Smash. Smash was awesome.
So
He was so
who were the morning guys on 92.5 that were so big? It wasn't Stevens and Pruitt. It was
Bella and Rhodey.
no. God, they were the #1 morning show for a long time.
Oh, Russ Martin and somebody else.
No, that was the Eagle. That was Russ Martin was on the Eagle. Shoot, it's not that.
Bo and Jim.
Bo and Jim.
Bo and Jim.
Bo and Jim.
Well,
Yeah.
and then for 106.5, that was our pop station back in the day. That was Stephen DC.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think they went national for a
Yeah,
while.
they did.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, they were based out here in St. Louis, and I don't know what
Nice.
happened to those guys. They disappeared.
Their format got changed and they got shipped someplace else.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. At one point, we had this guy. He called himself the Bird, and I loved his intro, because his intro was, the song "The Bird Is the Word."
Yeah,
Mm.
nice.
Mm.
It was a great intro. And this guy, he was trying so hard to be St. Louis's Howard Stern, is what he was trying to be. So we had our I think Channel 5 KSDK, our weatherman at the time, who was he liked to dabble in aviation, and he had built his own plane.
Wow.
And he got super depressed, and it's believed that he committed suicide by crashing his plane.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the Bird, again, trying to be the Howard Stern of St. Louis, decides to, on the air on KSHE, call up KSDK and ask for Bob Richards, the weather guy, knowing what happened, because that morning
Wow.
it was all over
Oh,
St. Louis
wow.
news.
Wow.
And he said he calls him up and says something like, "Hey, is your weather guy there?" And I don't remember, something about, and he probably won't be, or he made a stupid joke though, and he was gone before the
Yeah.
hour was up.
There were
Oh,
a
wow.
lot
I
of
pulled him off in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
wow.
disappeared. No one ever heard from him again.
Oh, he probably never worked again.
Probably not.
There were a lot of people that tried to emulate the success that Howard Stern was getting. We talked about Russ Martin a few minutes ago. He tried that in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Oh, yeah.
Russ Martin tried to be that kind of shock jock for a while too.
Right.
And a lot of people were trying that. So anyway, back to
Sorry,
the list.
I took you off the list.
No worries.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The next song is Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin.
Don't worry, be happy. I hated this song. I absolutely
I
hated
love this song.
I did too.
Mhm.
And re-listening to it and re-listening to the lyrics, now I just hate him. I think he's an asshole.
Bobby McFerrin?
Yes. Oh, your landlord's going to litigate. Don't worry. Be happy.
happy.
I'm happy. Yeah, of course you're happy. You're not getting your ass thrown out of your apartment, jerk.
Yes, but he wrote this when he was poor.
I didn't really like this song either. The only reason I have a fond memory of this song is my grandfather heard it once, and from that point on, you know, because people wrote letters back then, every letter he sent me, he always ended it with "Don't worry, be happy." And
No,
that's really the only reason I've got kind of a heart for this song. But the song, I agree with Mike. This one belongs in the list.
I
This belongs in the list.
I think I agree, and partially just because it's annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, is it bad because it was overplayed, or is it bad because I don't think it's a bad
No,
song.
I think it's a bad
I'm not gonna
song.
go out and look for it.
The video was bad. The video was stupid.
Maybe it was
Yeah.
him and Robin Williams and the guy from Moomin Shots.
That
His
doesn't
name
make
I
it
can
a
never
good
remember.
video. That doesn't make it a good video.
It was
Robin Williams had shit. You know, don't tell
Robin
me
Williams
Popeye
ripped
was
a
a
lot of
great.
people
Don't
off,
tell me
too.
Popeye
That's-
was a great movie.
I loved Popeye.
Now wait a minute. That's
It's
I
not a
know.
great movie at all.
that's close.
You
to
know,
you know, we're an hour and a half
Hour.
away from the home of Popeye.
oh really?
Oh,
We
that's
actually
right,
go
yeah.
there. We actually go there just about once a year because they put up statues of all
Yeah.
the characters there. So
Oh wow.
We haven't been there. in a while.
yeah, we haven't been there. Well, last time we were there was for the eclipse. Actually,
Yeah.
Oh nice.
we didn't because we got a really good view of the eclipse, so we drove down there and yeah.
God, the closest place for me to see the eclipse was like 8 hours away. So I was like, nah, I'm. It's not worth it for 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, we got 3 minutes of totality.
Nice.
An hour and a half drive. Yeah, it was well worth it. Worth the
I
day.
do.
I
an
just
hour and a
walked
half.
outside. It was awesome. And then went right back to work. That was not awesome. But you know.
We took the day
Yeah,
off.
we took the whole day off. It was great. We went and had Mexican and margaritas, and yeah,
Mhm.
That
it was a
sounds
good
awesome.
day. It was a good day.
Yes.
So, no love for Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Not really.
Not for me.
No.
All right, how about the next one? Rock Me Amadeus by Falco.
Okay. Who wrote this list?
Exactly.
Who wrote this?
I know
list?
where you sit on this song.
Falco is amazing.
Falco is amazing.
My wife hates
All
this
right.
song. My wife hates this song. She does. And it destroys me when she tells me she hates the song. I love Falco. I love this song. And if you really want to get deep into Falco and see what a musical, brilliant genius he is, listen to all 3 versions of Jenny.
Yes.
If you can get them translated, they will bring you to tears. It's a sad story about so basically the story of Jenny. He started a relationship with a young girl in Austria or Germany. I can't remember which one it was. She was considered too young for him. The local community gave him a lot of crap about it. And he went to her one day and said, I can't see you anymore. People see you as too young for me, that it's not an appropriate relationship, and I can't see you. She showed up a couple days later, dressed up very adult with makeup and everything like that. She didn't do a very good job according to the story, and she looked silly, and he laughed at her, and she killed herself.
Oh,
He wrote 3 songs about Jenny because he was heartbroken over this whole thing, and it will bring you to tears. Falco is brilliant. This song is greatness. Does not belong on this list.
No.
I wholeheartedly agree about this song. I can't say anything else about Falco's catalog because I'd never heard any other Falco song. But I remember when this came out, and I would crank this song. I absolutely love this song.
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh,
too.
and there's like
Fantastic.
10 versions of it. I like all of them.
I love listening to it in German. I love it. I love it. Or Austrian.
Yeah.
Whichever one it
That's
is.
Austrian. It's Frenchy German. I mean,
Yeah, Frenchy German. No way does this song fit in this list.
no,
Period.
this song is a great. Again, I think this song is in this list because it was overplayed.
And I didn't even
most
think that
of
this
these
was
songs.
I didn't even think this one was overplayed. I really didn't.
No.
Back in the day, I would.
Do you?
Yeah. I
Yeah, they
remember
did play the
it,
song quite a bit.
especially it came out around the time of the Amadeus movie.
Yes.
A
So
couple years
Yes.
later. Yeah, a
that's
year or
what it
two
was
later.
promoting. And I remember them playing the crap out of this song, but I didn't care at the time. I absolutely loved this song. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's a smooth groove.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. This song is in every playlist I have on Spotify. I listen to it,
Nice.
except the one for the golf course because Chelsea hates this song.
Yeah, but she doesn't like it when you play the.
I know.
Imperial
She made me
March.
take the Imperial March off.
That's wrong.
I know. I agree.
Wrong.
I agree.
Sauteed in raw sauce.
Hey, but we have Inner Sandman on it, so.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. So this was off of Falco 3, released through A&M. Mostly what you hear, it's mostly in German language. There was an American version made where you've got some backup singers singing "Rock Me, Baby, 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 Rock Me All Night." That's what denotes the American version from the other versions, but basically they're all the same.
I think it's best in the German or Austrian version, whichever it is. I think it's best in that.
But yeah, this song took the world by storm, and everybody was down with Falco for a while, and for some reason it made this list. When I saw it on this list, I was like, what? Why would they pick that song? I kind of understand the next song, but I don't think it's the worst song of the 80s. I don't even think it's close. That is The Safety Dance by the Canadian new wave synth pop band Men Without Hats. It was released in Canada in 1982. It was the second
I'm dumping out of this show. I'm dumping out of this show. Are you kidding me? How did this song make this list? How did this song make this list? Drove me insane when I saw this song on the list.
Yeah.
Zig, and you know that. You have never, ever fucking ever been to karaoke with me, and I have not sang this song.
Fucking ever.
Ever.
Fucking ever. Agreed.
This
He even does the echo himself.
I do. This
He
is
holds the
my
microphone out
song
get
to
the
do
echo
for
on.
karaoke.
It's really awesome.
Sanity. This song is great. This song is fun. I don't know.
Actually, it was, and I did not know this until I was looking it up. The Safety Dance is a protest against bouncers prohibiting dancers from pogoing in the late 1970s, early 1980s new wave music clubs when disco was declining.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Let's do the that's why he wrote this. He's like, yeah, I guess we should just do the Safety Dance instead. Which makes a lot more sense to me. Once I read that, I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, and again, Safety Dance was a #1 song.
Yep.
I remember very specifically, it was a #1 song, and it was unseated by Say Say Say.
Yeah, it was a #1 on the Billboard dance charts.
Brendan, I was just talking about Say Say.
That unseated Safety Dance from the #1 slot.
Yep.
I gotta say, I like the Safety Dance. It's fun. Again, it's a guilty pleasure. Okay?
Yes.
As a metalhead, that's not something you go around announcing that you like. But it is a guilty pleasure. But to say that Say knocked it off the list, I gotta say that's actually a better song.
It is. And Say 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 is a great song. Say Say Say. Yeah.
Yes. It's a great song.
I disagree.
It's a great song. It's a fantastic video.
Yes.
I mean,
I'll give you that. The video is fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
But is it a great song?
Yes.
No. It's an okay song.
You're outvoted.
Yeah. No, and this
looks like everybody's like, "Oh, the Beatles are the greatest band ever."
No. You will not hear those words come out of my mouth.
I think they're highly overrated.
I totally agree.
Not saying they're bad.
But the best Beatle is Paul McCartney, hands down.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he was the smartest.
He was the
best songwriter. He had the most talent.
Ooh. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, so George Harrison wrote some of my favorite Beatles songs, but yeah, no, he was the best songwriter.
Now I did like George Harrison's what was the song?
Still My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Six words.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
On
You got my mind set on you.
Got my
And
mind
yes,
set on you.
The
I love
song
the
is
Weird
just
Al.
6 words long.
This song is just 6.
Yeah, got my mind set on you, and the other one that was
Fab.
big for him, Fab.
Fab. Long
Um,
time ago when
that
we
one.
was fab.
Both of those have two amazing videos to them.
Mhm.
Yeah, when we
I
was
don't remember
when we was
Fab, but
it was
yeah.
when we was Fab,
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's
Yeah.
and it's about the Beatles.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's him singing about the Beatles. When we was Fab is a great song. Really, really good song. Listen to that song. Check out the video. Got My Mind Set on You had
3.
2 videos.
3.
2. One where he was sitting in a chair by a
With
fireplace.
the puppets behind him.
that's the one
puppets
I
behind him.
remember. With
And
the
then
flying
one where
book.
there was one where he was singing inside of a jukebox.
Oh,
Jukebox or
remember
pinball
that.
machine?
Was it a pinball machine?
I think it was a pinball machine.
I know there was a coin associated with it,
Yes.
but it was also kind of black and white, like
Yes.
then there was a third that was basically just it was like a live recording.
Now, see, you mentioned a pinball machine, and that goes to my true Beatles, which would be the Who.
Yes.
Pinball
Wizard. Yeah. Of course. The Who are the first punk band, sir. I don't know if you know that.
We had a pool hall that we went to when we were younger, and one of them before. At one point, they had the Dracula pinball, which we talked about in an episode. But the other one that they had, which I loved, was the Who's Tommy. That is a great pinball game. Great pinball game.
I've never seen the pinball machine actually.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's awesome, and it plays music
I can only imagine
from Tommy and every
early 90s.
When
it was released, early 90s.
About 94, 95.
Oh, it's a possibility. So up in Chicago, there is a huge arcade that's just filled with nothing but 70s and 80s video games.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called the Galloping Ghosts. In fact, friends of Two Geeks and a Microphone, Jason and Jimmy of Rebel Force Radio,
mm-hmm.
when you go into Chicago, if you're an RFR listener and you contact Jimmy beforehand, he will do a meet and greet with you at the Galloping Ghost. Brendan and I have done it twice with Jimmy.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, I've seen some of that stuff.
Oh my gosh, those games are awesome. They might have that game. I don't know.
And here for your station break, Two Geeks and Microphone and Rebel Force Radio. Go listen. Listen on your favorite podcast platform.
That's right. Now, you know what my favorite pinball machine is? Have you ever heard of Pinbot?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, that was
and Wife of Pinbot was the other one.
Yes.
Yes. Was it Wife of Pinbot or Bride of Pinbot?
I can't remember the name.
Maybe Bride of Pinbot.
Yeah. But I preferred Pinbot. And
well,
then when you got the balls locked and the
mm-hmm.
eyes opened and it says, "I see you."
The Tommy pinball machine, if you can ever find it, it's so cool. It's got a mirror on one part of the playing field, and as you hit it, it starts racking up hits. You get to a certain point and you break the mirror, and that machine goes insane.
Yeah, it goes nuts.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Cool.
If you can find it, play it.
I will if I.
The sounds are incredible. Great pinball game.
I love pinball. I'm not good at it, but I love it.
Me neither.
But when he's ready to go, and if you're playing, you better not put a quarter in.
That wasn't pinball. That was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I know. It wasn't me either. I left.
No, it wasn't you, but it was your brother and one of my best friends, Jason.
He said,
"Oh my gosh,
let's go." They said, "Oh, we'll just put one more quarter in." He said, "Don't put that in there." And he left, and I was like,
so it was at Walmart, and this is, when Brendan and I first started dating, and her brother and our friend Jason, that we all went to Walmart one day. I was driving, and they had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game there, and you could play up to 4 players on TMNT. and it was one of the first ones that you could continue play by just dropping more quarters in. So they're playing it, and they kept feeding it quarters, and I was like, "Look, all right, it's time to go. No more quarters. Once you're done, you're done. You die, you die." And Jason, of course, goes, "He ain't gonna go nowhere," and he put a quarter in. I said, "All right, see ya," and I left him there.
We may have talked about this on the show before. I don't know if we have or not, but I'll give the story again because it's really funny. Because you talk about a situation like that. There was this, our friend Keith, who's been on the show before. There was a Mr. M's convenience store.
We have talked about this on the show.
Have we?
Yes.
So across the street from where he lived, and they had a Xevious video game in there. And we were there. It was late at night, and he's playing, and he's having the game of his life. Just amazing game. And I'm just standing there watching. And these two guys in trench coats come in, and one of them walks up behind me and says, "You need to leave now." And I realized what was about to happen. And I said, "Keith, we got to go." He said, "Dude, leave me alone." I said, "Dude, we need to go." And he goes, "Man, fuck you. I'm having the game of my life." And he keeps playing. I said, "Dude, this place is about to be robbed. We need to go."
Oh, crap.
And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. They robbed that store after we got out.
Did your friend leave?
Yeah, we left.
Oh.
But I told him
they went and called the cops from the roof of his house.
Yeah, we could see the
right
Mr. M's
across
from
the
the roof of
street.
his house, and we were on the phone with the police watching it getting robbed.
You know what? I think I do remember you telling this story, but that's a great story. That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Dang.
All right, Zig, press on.
The next song is Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go Go.
Okay. No, you're fine, Brenda. Go ahead.
This is a terrible song. This is a terrible song.
No. I like Wham.
I like Wham too. This is not a good song.
Disagree.
Okay.
It's not their best, but
it's their worst.
It is not.
It's the worst song that they did.
Absolutely not Wham's best.
No.
How does anything Wham hit a top 10 bottom list, a top 10 worst list?
Okay. I don't like Wham. I'm not a Wham fan. Never have been. I'm not much of a George Michael fan. Do I think this is a bad song? I actually do not think this is a bad song. In fact, again, I tap my feet to this. I bob my head to it. I think it's a fun song, actually. It's not one I would seek out and listen to all the time, but it's not one I would just turn, again, is it cliche? Yes.
Was it overplayed? Cliche. Yes.
But I'm with you on that. That's not one I'm going to go out and actively seek out.
Right.
But if it's playing, I will enjoy myself listening to it.
Sure. Yes. I will too.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far, but it's not. It doesn't belong in this list.
No.
It brings back good memories of the 80s.
Yes.
Let's face it.
Take Me to the Edge of Heaven. That is their best song, and I will fight anybody who argues otherwise.
Now, I would love to know, since this is Rolling Stone magazine, and by the way, I think Rolling Stone sucks. But
this is Dave Marsh. This has Dave Marsh stink written all over it. That
all Rolling Stone sucks to begin with. So
pithy, self-important douche nozzle.
Well, you just described all of Rolling Stone magazine. Back in the day, there were nothing but aging hippies. Now I'm sure they're all just dead hippies. I don't know what the heck they are now. But I would like to know how they would have done this if George Michael was still alive. I don't think they would put this song on here if George Michael is still alive.
Andrew Ridgeley is. Andrew Ridgeley is, but he doesn't deserve that.
He doesn't have the pizzazz that George Michael had.
No, and that's one of the things that I really
one of the Bananamas.
Yeah,
he is.
Oh, yeah,
I don't remember which one.
It's one of the things I really appreciate about George Michael, and it's very similar to why I like Peter Gabriel as well. George Michael is a performer, and he can put on a show. He can sing his chops out, and he will entertain you. I just why is this song in this list?
I don't think this song.
No, it
Again,
doesn't.
if they would have named it the top cliche songs,
There you go. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it fits. To
Okay, that's
say
really funny. I
top-
just realized where Mike is in the room because I saw his hand come up over the monitor.
It's
I was like, is there a
Oh.
puppet back there? Oh, that's his hand.
Mike's hand.
Yeah, our studio is kind of funky.
Okay, the next song, Krista Berg's "The Lady in Red." I hate the song. I hate the song. I hate the song with a burning passion and a fire of 1,000 suns. Do I think it's the worst song of the 80s? No, it's just not good.
Right. I agree.
When I read the list, I
Mhm.
couldn't remember the song at first. And then when I listened to it, okay, so growing up, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of D Malay.
Mhm.
I was a D Malay, and we used to have dances, and this was probably played at every single D Malay dance.
Oh
I
yeah,
attended.
I'm sure there were thousands of people that were made to this song.
Oh yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah.
We
But
didn't dance to this one.
no, we didn't. No, we danced the Night Ranger.
Yes.
Sister Christian,
Okay.
which is a much better song, by the way.
See, I would say that maybe that song belongs in this list.
No,
Oh,
you're wrong.
wrong.
I'm just,
wrong.
the next time I see British, she go hit me.
Wrong. Wrong.
You're
Wrong.
outnumbered on that one, dude.
Oh, that is, yeah.
I
I
don't.
love Night Ranger. So.
I don't hate this song.
I just don't like it.
But I don't hate this song.
Right.
You don't hate it.
No.
See, I do, but I still don't think it belongs in the list.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, and I don't like it.
Right.
I'm the same. I'm indifferent to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where I am on it. It's not that Krista Berg can't sing, because he can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's
I
got a
agree.
very good voice.
It's a well-crafted song. I'll give you that.
It is. But yeah, I'm kind of the indifference on this. I
agree.
wouldn't have had it on this list because
It's lame.
it doesn't cross
That's the
my
problem
mind
with the
that
song.
much.
It is lame.
Right. I would
That's,
agree.
you know
with
what? That's the problem with all of these songs. They're just lame.
No.
No, not all.
No.
All these songs are they're lame.
No.
I would definitely go.
Well, okay,
for the
except-
first song
except-
being lame and this song being lame for sure.
You just said
Definitely.
Safety Dance is lame. I am kicking you as hard as I can
No,
next time I see
Safety
you.
Dance
Okay,
is
okay.
not lame. Safety Dance is fun.
Thank you.
Falco is not lame. Safety
No.
Dance is not lame. The rest of these songs are lame.
No.
That's all it is. They're just lame.
No.
No.
The next song is totally lame. And I know you guys are into hair music.
I'm gonna go cliche on that.
Yeah.
Not lame.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're using different words for the same thing.
I don't think you know what that word means.
I do
You
not
keep
think you
using
know
that word.
what it means. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Right.
The next song in the list, Europe, The Final Countdown.
Hey, wait a minute. Did we skip a song?
No.
Lady in Red,
Okay.
Europe, The
All right.
Final Countdown.
It's the
Oh
last
no,
one.
I'm thinking. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the best of. Anyway, go ahead.
The Final Countdown. It's a song by Swedish rock band Europe, released in 1986, written by lead singer Joey Tempest. It was based off of a keyboard riff he made in the early 1980s with lyrics inspired by David Bowie's Space Oddity. Originally made to just be a concert opener, it is the first single of the title track from the band's third studio album. The music video by Nick Morris, made to promote the single, has received 1 billion views on YouTube. The video features footage from the band's 2 concerts in Solna, as well as extra footage from the sound checks and footage from Stockholm. The song Pictures from the 2017 album Walk the Earth is a sequel to The Final Countdown. Yeah.
I love the Final Countdown.
Thank you.
I figured you
Thank
guys
you.
would be into this again.
Mm-hmm.
You guys say hair metal. This is what I hear.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is
I don't think you're wrong.
They were hair metal, but
Yeah.
How does a song make the top 10 worst songs of the 80s?
How many movies has this song been in?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Movies, it's played in stadiums across the country.
Yeah.
High school bands play it
I
all the
don't-
time
yeah.
when their team is winning and you're in the final seconds of the game. They
I
start
don't
playing the final
think-
countdown.
Yeah, I don't think that this song belongs in this list.
No,
I
and
do, however, think this song is lame.
I
but it's-
absolutely disagree with that.
This song is
Completely.
lame. This is
No.
Yeah, this song is
disagree.
just as lame as "Don't Worry, Be Happy," but
I
I
don't
do not
underst-
think it is a terrible song.
I don't understand the hatred I hear for this song, and I do hear hatred for this song,
Yeah,
but yet you hear it everywhere.
I don't,
Well,
Zig,
okay.
I don't think
dude,
you saw.
you also heard "Girl, You Know It's True" everywhere. That doesn't
Not-
mean it was
No,
good.
not to this day.
No.
Yeah, you do.
No,
you
you
don't.
do not. No, you do
No,
not.
do.
But
I
if
haven't
you
heard
turn
that
on,
song in
you
years.
turn on any NFL game, you're going to hear this in the
Dude,
final seconds of
football
the
is
home game.
lame.
Agreed.
You hear this.
What
hear
did you
this
just say?
I
you
said
hear this-
football is lame.
You hear
Jeff, I
this
wish you
in
were close to
many
him so you
sporting
could smack
yeah,
him
no
for it.
kidding.
Dude, he's as far away from me as you are.
I know.
Yeah. You hear this in all kinds of sporting events when the seconds are ticking away.
Zig,
Um,
I don't think you saw what Brenda did.
Oh, did I get the finger? Did
No,
I get the finger?
she's trying to turn your mic down.
Let's see. I'm the host.
I was
I can,
hoping
I
for
can,
the finger.
I can, I
Yeah,
can
you
mute.
can
I'm
shut
the,
him
I
off.
can, I can mute him. I'm the host here.
No, seriously.
Actually, I can put him in the waiting room.
It's the song is lame, but again, I don't think it's
Make him cool off.
I don't think it's the worst song of the 80s. I don't think it's even close to the worst song of the 80s.
No.
Oh, I
Again,
agree
No.
with that.
I
No.
still say Lose Control by Eric Carr is probably the worst song of the 80s.
Eric Carmen.
Carmen, yeah.
I don't know
Um,
that song.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's really
I'll
awful.
take your word for it.
I may be wrong that it was on Dirty Dancing because he may have had a different. No, She's Like the Wind was Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also a
yeah,
terrible
Patrick.
song.
I swear Eric
Oh
Carmen
God,
had a
Brenda's
song on
gonna
Dirty
hit
Dancing.
you.
No.
Um,
Okay.
It's
first
not a
of
good
all,
song.
I
I don't
love
think it's
Patrick
worst
Swayze.
of the 80s.
I don't think that song was top. No, and that part of the movie pissed me off
Okay.
because here this man is never gonna see this girl again, and that's all you. I would
I
have
hate
grabbed
that
a hold of
whole-
that man and never let go.
That whole movie sucks. It just sucks.
Oh shush!
That's a terrible
I
movie.
like that movie.
I hate that movie. I hate that movie.
this song doesn't belong in this list.
No.
I think we all
I
agree
agree.
on that.
Period.
But we're
It
coming
does
from
not.
different points of view.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the last song in the list is "We Built This City" by Starship.
I love this song.
I love this.
I
song.
like the song too. I don't.
I
don't-
love this song too. And this song makes the #1 worst movie or worst music song of the 80s all over the place.
Oh yeah,
I hear the hatred for it
I don't get it.
everywhere.
Bernie Taupin wrote
But-
this song.
I know.
Look, this
and
song.
this song spent weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks at #1.
This
you know
song
what? I
was
will go
a
on and-
marketing genius
Yes.
because each market got a different version of this song. So, like, if you heard it here in St. Louis, you're going to hear St. Louis DJs in the
Mhm.
middle of this song.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
if you
Yeah.
heard it in Dallas, you were
Yep.
going to hear Dallas DJs in the
Yep.
middle of the song.
Yep.
If you heard it in LA, each one had their own customized version of this song. Freaking genius marketing.
Now, how
I love this song.
However, if you listen to, I believe it was Casey Kasem's top 40 at that point, you only heard the LA version.
Right.
LA or
Because
Frisco?
the band
Right.
was from LA.
Right.
So, right.
So you got that one.
Makes sense.
Um,
But if you heard it in your own market,
yeah,
outside of Casey Kasem's show or outside of one of those national syndicate shows, you're going to hear the one that is particular to your market. And it was cool. It was
Several radio stations added descriptions of their own local areas
Yep.
when they broadcast a song and added their own idents in its place.
Yep.
and it was, I'm telling you, it was marketing genius.
I will. You know what? I would also like to stand up and say about this song. This is the first time that a baby boomer publicly admitted that they abandoned us in a song. First time it happened. Happened in 1985. There are too many runaways eating up the night. That's what they meant by that.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you know what? For that alone, this doesn't belong in this list.
No, and like I said, Rolling Stone is not the only magazine that has put this as the worst song in the 80s. I've
No,
seen
they're not.
that.
Not even close.
I've seen
The
this many
magazine.
times with people saying, yeah.
What's your magazine?
But I've never ever
like a website?
understood why people hate this song. I just don't.
No, you know what it is? It's the line. It's Marconi plays the Mamba.
Magazines were our internet of the 80s.
Yes, that's how we got the internet in the 80s. It's the line Marconi plays the Mamba because nobody understands what it means. They're talking about Marconi. One of his tests for his radio was to play some music. You know what he played? He played a mambo.
Right. And
Marconi plays the mambo. They just pronounced it wrong.
Marconi is also the name of the radio awards.
Yep.
The Marconi.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I disagree that this song is on the list. I don't think it should be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
I love this song. I always
No, there are way worse songs from the 80s that could have hit this list. Way worse. This person.
We like the boom. We're Tigra and we're Bunny and we like the boom. That song is terrible.
So many others could have made this list. This was a wrongly labeled list. Absolutely wrongly labeled list. Mike had it right on the nail head. It should have been most cliche of the 80s, and that I would have agreed with.
I would have agreed with it too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Cliche, yes. Worse, wrong.
Not even close.
Yep. No.
Not even close.
No.
But honestly, I don't think I agree with
Rolling Stone magazine. I mean, they're gosh, I cannot stand.
They have been irrelevant since the early 80s.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
I would say, well, yeah, early.
Do I have a glove that I can throw on the ground? And no, I don't. Just irrelevant since the early 80s.
Yes.
Nice.
Go back to Woodstock.
Yeah.
Golf clap.
Golf clap.
Okay. I think I've excised all those angry demons.
Jeff?
No, we swear, we holler, somebody the other day accused me of doing a karate pose when I was celebrating a particularly good iron hit.
Now I kind of want to come out and watch you and Chelsea play golf so we can golf clap for you.
Come on out. We're not good, but come on out.
I'll bet you're better than me.
I'm sure I'm definitely better than when I first started. I can tell you that, but drives me insane that I still sometimes chunk the club right into the ground, and that drives me insane.
Do you do the Jack Nicholson thing ever?
Which one?
Bashing the windshield with
no. I like my clubs too much to do that to them.
Oh, okay. All right.
my clubs are not cheap.
I'm going to say something controversial, Brenda. I've never watched Happy Gilmore.
Neither have I.
Why not?
Neither have I.
Wow.
I've seen scenes from it.
I have too.
I think there are better golf movies out there. Tin Cup is one of them. Tin Cup's a great golf movie.
I've actually never watched Waterboy either.
No, never watched Waterboy. I have a love-hate thing for Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Yeah.
I think he has good, and then I think he has terrible.
I agree.
And there's no middle ground.
I agree.
50 First Dates is good. The Wedding Singer is good.
Oh yeah, Wedding Singer is great.
Little Nicky, terrible.
Now, if we were doing worst movies of the 80s,
Little Nicky goes in there.
That's the 90s, man.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, I think he only actually made one movie in the 80s. Okay. It was that Overboard. Not Overboard with he made his own little short movie
Mm.
while
I
he
was about to
working on a
say
cruise ship.
Overboard's one of
Yeah.
Brenda's favorite movies.
Yeah.
No, it's not that Overboard. It's a different Overboard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He was not in that
He had
movie.
it's the last thing you ever get to see like Shecky Green in, the comedian Shecky Green.
Interesting.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a Borscht Belt movie.
But yeah,
on a
that's
cruise ship.
Adam Sandler for me in a nutshell. He is either good or he's terrible.
I do like
And
the
there's
turkey song.
there's
though.
no middle ground for him. There's no middle ground. And I don't
The
understand
turkey
that.
song is fantastic. I love the turkey song.
Gobble
What
gobble
you're
goo
talking
and a
about.
gobble gobble giggle. I wish turkey just
Turkey only
stopped
cost
a
a
nickel.
nickel. Oh,
All
sorry, we're
right.
going off into Thanksgiving now.
Oh, that's all right. Well, I think that takes us to the end of that list.
Yes, that takes us to the end of that list, and I'm wore out.
Well, do come back next week for part 2, where we're going
Yes.
to have Mike and Brenda back again, and we will be doing Rolling Stone's best top 10 or top
Yeah, I
10
don't agree with that
best of
shit
the
either.
80s. So we'll see how we
Can
feel
I-
about that one.
Can I quote Bill Cosby on this show?
I don't know
Am
if
I
you
allowed?
can quote Bill Cosby anywhere anymore.
Oh well, I was just gonna say right.
Raw.
Awesome. Well, with that, we'll step over to the murder side of the house.
Murder.
For today, I got my information off Medium, Wikipedia, the Huff Post, not Huffington Post, and
Oh.
Fox News. And this is the murder of Cara Knott.
Cara Knott.
Cara Knott.
Cara Knott.
Cara Knott was a 20-year-old vivacious young woman. She had blonde hair and was said to have a bright smile. She had an on-the-go personality, and this led her to spending her free time helping animals and working at the zoo, which is a job a lot of people are very nervous to do. Adding on to wanting to get a fulfilling life, she attended college at San Diego State University with the hopes of becoming a elementary school teacher. And anyone that knew Cara said that her personality was the perfect fit for young people. In fact, one of her biggest fans in her life was her boyfriend, Wayne Bautista. They were a good-looking couple combined together. Their love for each other was very genuine and obvious to those around them. So when Wayne fell ill with the flu, Cara decided to drive 35 minutes from San Diego to Escondido to care for him. Man, our last episode, we talked about Escondido too.
Escondido. Yeah.
Escondido. So on December 27th, 1986, Cara asked her mother about typical medical advice before getting in her car and driving to Wayne's house. And typical for Cara, she wanted to offer Wayne the best possible care, even though she hadn't been in any kind of caregiver position before. She did manage to safely arrive at Wayne's, and she spent some time with him before calling her dad around 8 p.m. to say she would be home soon. The drive typically only took 40 minutes. However, several hours passed and there was no sign of Cara. Her father, Sam, later said that he felt, quote, a call to his soul that the situation was much darker than her simply being late. So without hesitating, he got in his own car and started his own search for her. Cara's mother, Joyce, began her part of the search by going through the phone books, this was in the 80s, and shuffling through numbers, different hospitals and police agencies. She had eventually called 4 different local law enforcement agencies. But aside from confirming there had been no reports of an accident involving a Volkswagen, which Cara drove, they failed to take a missing persons report or didn't even investigate the fact that Cara was missing. And this is one of those things where they said, 24, 48 hours, somebody has to be missing. A lot of those laws have been changed because
That's good.
of situations just like this, that you can actually claim somebody is missing immediately if you think that there is a genuine danger, because a lot of agencies for many years said someone has to be missing for 24 to 48 hours, but that's
Right.
just
Yeah.
not the case anymore. And a lot of laws have been passed because of various situations like this. Local hospitals also said no one resembling her daughter had been admitted. The following day, her father was still driving through town trying to find her, but this time he did have the police by his side because she had been missing enough time at this point. And at one point during the search, he chose to go down a dark, abandoned, dead-end road called Mercy Road, and there at the end of the road, they found Cara's white Volkswagen Beetle. Her driver's side window was halfway rolled down, her keys were still in the ignition, and her purse was still in the seat. Police knew of this area and referred to it as the Tombs due to its creepy and deathly appearance. One officer said that the location made him feel so uneasy that he avoided stopping to write reports there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Since Cara's vehicle had been found on Mercy Road, authorities started an in-depth search at the setting, but sadly located by a nearby ridge, Cara's body was found tossed 70 feet towards the ground. She was fully dressed. She was still wearing the purple sweatsuit and white leather boots that her boyfriend had last seen her wearing. And during the time when her body was found, Cara's father was there the whole time. Police did notify him of their findings, and his heartbreaking response was, quote, "I wish you could have known her. She was an angel." Her death was determined to be strangulation. There were visible ligature marks around her neck and a large dark bruise on her eyebrow. There were no signs of sexual assault. They immediately looked at Wayne as a suspect, but he had a clear alibi, being at home sick. Investigators did acknowledge that Cara was aware and cautious when she was alone, and with this in mind, they considered the possibility of her willingly driving to a deserted and spooky road that would be highly unusual. There were skid marks on the bridge above where Cara's body was found, and it depicted a second set of tire markings behind a first set, which ultimately suggested that she was stopped by someone and led down the road. Law enforcement turned to the news to air Cara's story for two reasons: for tips and to promote safety. There was a concerned California highway patrolman by the name of Craig Payer who was featured in her story to discuss driver safety for women. And he had stated, quote, "Being a female, you can be raped, robbed if you're male, all the way to where you could be killed." He went on to offer advice to viewers by saying if someone walked up to their car asking for help, just ask them to call highway patrol. And he ended his statement with the warning to women to never get out of their vehicle for another person because, in his own words, quote, "You are at their mercy." So Cara's case took off with all the exposure, and there were 30 different women who called into Crime Stoppers reporting they had similar experiences being lured down Mercy Road. They were stopped and talked to by a man. More importantly, the person they described was a uniformed highway patrolman.
Is it the guy?
Well,
okay. I'm sorry. Please continue.
As the women continued discussing their experiences, they stated that the patrolman sat in the passenger seat of their car and asked them off-topic sexual questions, and some of the victims were able to name the officer as Craig Payer. The women said the Payer, who was then 36 years old, stopped them at night, often for trivial offenses, and directed them to the exit freeway at Mercy Road, even if it meant reversing on the freeway against traffic to do so and drive to the bottom of the secluded unlit off-ramp. Their Payer detained them for as long as 90 minutes, chatting and asking them personal questions before letting them resume their drive. But by comparison, when Payer stopped men, those stops occurred in the more visible areas and they lasted only 10 minutes.
So this guy really was a police officer then?
He really was a police officer. Yep.
Okay.
He was actually a model police officer and was considered very professional. But
unless you talk to those women.
Well, and that was one of the things on the Crime Stopper. Some news viewers noticed that he had visible scratches on his face. He was very clean shaven. He had visible scratches. But the women's calls to the news segment weren't the first time the California Highway Patrol had learned of Payers on unorthodox traffic stops at Mercy Road. Two relatives of women who had been detained by him called to complain about the unusual nature and location of his stops, but CHP officials dismissed them, and in fact, Payer was commended by his superior for a strategy he believed could avoid potentially dangerous stops on the freeway. So he'd been complained about, and he still got commended for this. Jeez. They did a review of the night Cara was murdered, and it did reveal that Craig Payer was working that night. However, his police log showed him that he was numerous miles away writing up a traffic ticket at 9:30 p.m., but a second look at the logbook showed where there was a noticeable eraser mark on that particular column. They also did notice the scratches on his face, and there was trauma to his arm. He said that there were injuries related to falling against a fence behind the police department. He tried to explain that it happened when he fell, but the fence was too high to have caused the scratches on his face. Moreover, within an hour when the murder was thought to have occurred, witnesses at a gas station saw him drive in at high speed. One of them was an off-duty San Diego police officer and reported seeing the scratch marks that were about an hour before Craig Payer claimed he got them. Even his wife said she saw the scratches on his face when he got home from work later that night, but she would later testify they didn't appear serious enough to warrant immediate attention. But even with these red flags, his fellow officers never assumed that he was involved in Cara's death. Craig did offer to give up his uniform for forensics testing, which would end up being a stupid mistake, on his behalf, but it was a great break for the investigation on the case because a crime analysis found a gold fiber on Cara's sweater that matched a similar fiber connected to a gold patch on Craig's uniform. More findings included purple fibers on Craig's police boots and gun, which were determined to have matched Cara's sweatpants. And if these two bits of evidence were damning enough, there was a suspicious rope that was uncovered in his police car resembling the same pattern identified on Cara's neck during her autopsy.
Hello.
Furthermore, there was a drop of blood that was found on one of Cara's boots, which was found to be consistent with Craig's blood type, which was AB negative, the rarest type.
Yes, it is.
And there were other genetic markers, but at the time, DNA testing was not available. Craig's fellow officers testified to his strange actions following the murder, with his continuous requests regarding the investigation status and his attempt to justify the perpetrator's crime as a mistake. There was an internal investigation that showed while he had stopped many drivers for various legitimate violations, most of them were female who were driving alone. And additionally, most were of the same age group and physical description as Cara Knott.
So he had a type.
He had a type. 21 days after her murder, Craig was charged with first-degree murder. His exact statement was, quote, "I'm not saying I did do this, but what would happen to me if I did? Guilty, guilty." The investigation presumed that Craig pulled Cara over, made sexual advances, and when she denied them, he bludgeoned her with his police flashlight. It was believed that the situation escalated to physicality when Cara threatened to report Payer for his inappropriate actions. Then they determined that he strangled her to death and threw her body 50 feet off the bridge in the hopes of disposing of her. At his trial, it was revealed that he had been targeting women along the interstate and had made predatory sexual advances on multiple females. On August 4th, 1988, the once trusted police officer was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. After conviction, Craig Payer continued to claim his innocence. In 2004, he was asked if he would contribute a sample of DNA to a San Diego County program, which had been designed and initiated to use DNA samples to possibly exonerate wrongfully imprisoned persons. As such testing was not available at the time of his trial and conviction, but he refused to take the test.
Well, hell yeah, he did.
I'm really surprised he didn't sexually assault them.
Yeah.
You know what? And maybe he did. They just didn't want to say anything.
Well, it's possible. I never saw anything that said definitively that she wasn't, just that it appeared that she did. Or maybe after he beat her over the head with the flashlight, he got scared and didn't continue what he was going to do.
It just seems weird. He makes these sexual advances,
right?
But then they're claiming that, you know, I don't know. It just seems weird.
Well, again, they're probably not claiming. It's probably, okay, he made these sexual advances. Did anything happen? Oh no, nothing happened.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? They're just claiming
it's possible.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. We have noticed a lot of this stuff seems to go unreported.
Oh yeah. He had his first parole hearing in 2004 after he'd served 17 years, and he was asked then why he wouldn't provide a DNA sample, but he refused to answer. For this reason and his lack of remorse, the board denied his parole request. He's been denied parole 2 additional times in 2008 after he'd served 21 years, and 2012 after serving 25. His next chance of parole eligibility will occur in 2027 when he will be almost 77 years old. After Cara's death, her family was awarded $7.5 million during a lawsuit. Kara's parents wanted to choose a permanent way to honor her, and so in 1996 they created a memorial garden for her that was near the crime scene in San Diego. It's got carved stones, framed pictures, and statues of angels, and it's still there to this day. Unfortunately, though, for the Knott family, Kara's father, Sam, suffered a heart attack several yards from where Kara's body was discovered in December of 2000. There's Reddit threads on this where they believe he died of a broken heart, which is sad. After his death, a bench was placed at Kara's memorial to honor her father's efforts to finding his daughter and forming a place to honor both of them. Today, Kara's memorial has expanded into the San Diego crime victims' Oak Garden, proving her death sparked a difference in the way victims are remembered as a whole. And the byway leading to the garden and running parallel to I-15 is now named Cara Way.
Beautiful.
Wow. And that's the story of the murder of Cara Knott.
Well, thank you for that, sir.
Yeah. Messed up that it was a police officer that did that.
Yep.
You know, when you were talking about when they discovered her body, and you said the father was there when they discovered it. And I mean, in one way that's terrible, but in another way, it's kind of a good thing because at least he had closure right away. You know, you tell these stories, you know, each week, and there's so many of them that we hear where the family gets no closure whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I got to say, at least in that sense, there was closure, and it was kind of a good thing.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, absolutely. And the sad truth is, this is not the first one we've covered of a police officer that's done this. You know, somebody in authority
seek out positions of authority. That's what they do.
They do. And it's sad that there's not a better way to determine this in psychological testing, because they do that before you're able to take any type of law enforcement job. There's a psychological testing you have to go through, and it's really kind of sad that we don't have better ways to see it. You know, that's one of the things that I talk about with the McDonald triad. That's not 100% proven at this point, but it sure does seem to have key factors in serial killers. There should be something that triggers that this person has this type of personality, this penchant from using their authority in the wrong way. That they have an intent, maybe to abuse their authority. That's what I'm looking for, to abuse their authority. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining me for that story. And thanks to Mike and Brenda for joining us. They will be back with us next week again. We really do appreciate them being here. And once again, I can't say it enough. Two Geeks and a Microphone. It's one of my favorite podcasts to listen to.
Thank you, sir.
Listen to it all the time. I'm a little behind right now. I've been busy at work.
I completely understand. I also listen to Three Dads, so I'm plugging another podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like way behind on them too. So
yeah. You know, and when I'm working, I like to have you know, something in the background, music or something like that. For y'all's podcast, I like to listen to it more, and then I have to go,
I appreciate
wait, what did he just say? I need to go back. I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to come back and listen to it as a whole. That's why I really like listening to y'all too. That's why I like listening to y'all when I drive. That's the one thing I miss about my drive to work in DFW is I had y'all on my drive to work and I had y'all on my drive home.
Well, see, I go through days where I listen to nothing but podcasts. And then sometimes it depends on what I'm doing for work, because my work isn't always exactly the same every day. And then there may be some days where I'm getting with other people and figuring things out and stuff like that. And if that's going on, sometimes I prefer to have music. Yeah. You know, and I'll get stuck. Like there'll be days where I'm just listening to nothing but Metallica the entire day. You know, I will go through like the entire catalog. Well, not the entire catalog, because there's a few Metallica albums I hate, but just a few. Most of them I love, but or I'll go through the entire Striper catalog, stuff like that. So
my liked songs list that I'll just play and just set it on repeat currently has 1,175 songs in it.
wow.
And it's varied. I mean, I have stuff from Hamilton in there. I have heavy metal in there. I have country in there. It's all kinds of stuff in there. So.
See, and I tend to gravitate to Metallica, Judas Priest, Striper, Kiss. Those are my 4 go-tos,
I've got them in the list. Got them there. But thanks y'all for joining. I really appreciate y'all joining us. Do give Mike's show a listen. He and Steven have some great topics. Just absolutely love. I love how your show has evolved over time too. Added in the geek dar and your news of the week and everything. I love how it's evolved. It's been awesome.
Well, I gotta admit, I stole Geekdar from Three Geeky Dads.
Yeah, I knew that.
Because I started listening to it. When I started listening to Three Geeky Dads, I called up Steven one day. I go, "Hey, they do this one thing that we got to steal."
You'd actually mentioned that on the show that you were stealing it from them.
See, I admit it. Yeah. I'm not lying. All's fair in love and podcasting.
That's right. It's not theft.
Yeah, right.
You were inspired.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. George Lucas was inspired by Kurosawa.
Yep.
So, yeah. I'm inspired by you guys. I'm inspired by Three Geeky Dads, Rebel Force Radio. Yeah.
There you go. Rebel Force is another show. So there you go. We've given you some more suggestions of stuff to listen to. But keep us on your list. Don't forget about us.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So we appreciate it. And y'all will be back with us for our next episode. So with that, that'll take us to our end of the recording week. As always, you can find us on nerderymurdery.com. That's our hub where we have everything about the show. You can find pictures. You can find links to what we talk about. You can also find the link to our YouTube page, which Zig is so often updates.
Yes, you can find all of these songs there.
Awesome. Appreciate all the work you do on that. It's better work
sir.
than I can do for sure. You can also find the link to our merchandise page where if you wish to show off your nerdery murdering fandom, please do consider getting something from there. That along with our Patreon, our patrons help with the costs that are associated with this show. It does cost to keep us on the air. Mike can attest to that.
Yes.
For the website and the uploads and everything like that, it's not cheap and it's not free. So please do consider one of those venues. We appreciate each and every one of you.
And Jeff needs new golf clubs.
Yes, please and thank you.
No, I really don't. I got a new set of irons for Father's Day, so I'm happy for now.
Ooh.
I'm happy for now. I say new, they're actually from their 2018 model, so they're not the newest, but I really liked them. Got them on sale for Father's Day, and I'm very happy with them. I will happily say that I am a TaylorMade fan, and if TaylorMade would like to sponsor us, please let me know.
Please.
TaylorMade is what Tiger uses, and I can see why. That's good stuff. Please and thank you. Last but not least, please don't forget to leave a 5-star review wherever you can. It really helps us and helps others find our content that may be looking for the subject matter we are talking about. So with that, Mike and Brenda, you want to sign out?
I have been Mike with 2 geeks and a microphone.
And I'm his wife.
I have been Zig with your nerdery.
And I'm Jeffrey with your murdering.
Cue the music.